Motley Patriot here. Well, you never know what you're going to discover as you're traveling America, but you can rest assured there's always something interesting around the corner. So I was at my hotel, and your name, sir?
Peter.
Peter. So I'm watching Peter here with what looks like he's trying to shoot the Death Star out of the sky. And I'm told that you're tracking the actual distance of the moon?
Well, actually, so I'm an amateur radio operator.
Oh, cool.
And I'm bouncing radio signals off the moon to communicate with other amateurs around the
Oh,
world.
wow. So I'm bouncing off the moon.
Bouncing off the moon.
Wow, instead of the atmosphere as you normally
That's right.
would.
Yeah,
oh, that's
so
cool.
500,000-mile round trip takes almost 3 seconds for the message to go back and forth.
Well, you've got a good horizon view here, right? Is
Yeah, I
this
do.
a good spot?
Yeah, so the dish right now is pointed where the moon's going to rise. And I have to wait for the moon to get above that tree.
Okay.
Because the signal doesn't go through the tree.
Absolutely. What bandwidth are you in with this?
So this is the same frequency as a microwave oven almost.
Okay, so
1296 megahertz.
1296 megahertz. So if I stood in front of that with a cup of cold tea, I might be able to warm it up as we're cooking.
Well,
not
no,
that strong.
But it's strong enough that you wouldn't want to, spend hours in front of it. But
well, this is a beautiful. Can I ask you about the antenna?
Absolutely.
Now, I guess so. You're transceiving, then, is that right?
Right. So in here I have a radio.
Oh, nice.
And that's hooked up to a computer.
Cool.
That controls the messages that are sent back and forth. And then there's an amplifier in the back seat.
Wow, and I noticed you've got 2 generators, so you've got at least 40 amps of current cooking here if you need it.
Yeah, so sometimes I run 2 stations at the same time.
Ah, okay.
But here I'm just running 1.
Nice.
And I need a generator for each station.
Now, is this a gold reflective surface? It looks
silver.
Like it. Silver.
So this is
wow, it's beautiful.
It folds down like a umbrella.
Yes.
Like a umbrella for a table, and actually use a umbrella bag to store it. It weighs 12 pounds.
So if I use this as an umbrella for my tent, it would be equivalent to a tinfoil hat, kind of, sort of?
Yeah, actually, it is really, really good at blocking radio frequency.
Oh, wow.
signals, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
From when I park until the station's up and running is 15 minutes.
Wow.
And when I'm finished and leave this afternoon, it takes 10 minutes to put it in the car.
That's really cool. Yeah. Well, I hope you have some good conversations today.
Yeah, so this is state 41 out of a 45 state trip this summer.
Oh, wow.
So Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then back home to Florida.
Boy, if you could do this off of that mountain over in Hawaii, wouldn't that be something?
Actually, I may this summer.
That's
or
awesome.
Actually, this fall, I may go over there.
Now, I've seen a drive up that incline, and that looks breathtaking.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to one of the turnouts.
Cool. Now, are you a MUFON guy at all? My wife is a big MUFON gal, and she loves that there's a lot of prior scientists that are in the conversation. Me, I'm kind of like, oh, that's nice. I think I got to go cut the grass, So it's interesting. I wonder if some people are going to see this and go, wow, are they talking to aliens or with the Tic Tacs?
Yeah, that's a great point. So there are the 2 most common ideas people have about what I'm doing is, number 1, I'm a weather chaser.
Right.
Number 2, I'm talking to aliens. And obviously, that's what I'm doing.
So I'm a terrible conspiracy
why else would you
guy.
do anything like this?
Well, my idea is, actually, you're secretly working for NSA and eavesdropping on that house a mile over, but there's that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that's a wonderful piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Now, you got, those are Yagi antennas up there, I guess?
Yes. So that's for one of the other bands that I operate on.
Lower frequency with those?
Lower frequency, yeah. So the wavelength of those signals is about that big.
Okay, 18 inches-ish?
Yes.
Okay.
And the wavelength of these is 23 centimeters, about 5 inches.
Wow. Yeah. And that's, for folks out there that don't know, that's the, in physical space, the
radio wave.
Radio wave, if you will, the polarity shift from one point to another point.
Right.
0 to 0,
Full
essentially.
cycle.
Full cycle. So, because it does travel through space and time. And there's a whole difference. So the physics of this are quite interesting. So you're transmitting and receiving. Now, is there a...
So this is the antenna here.
Right.
And it bounces off this dish and it focuses it into a beam.
Yep. So that's kind of cool.
And then all of this electronics here, this amplifies the receive signal, and the transmit signal just goes directly in. So one antenna is shared between transmit and receive.
Oh, nice. And they just alternate.
Yes.
So you kind of almost have to time when you think it's going to return?
Well, actually, what we do is each person, when we're making a contact, each part of our message we transmit for 1 minute. We send 17 characters, that's all, but it takes a whole minute because there's all types of error correction used. Now, I know some people who have 30 and 50
So it's a binary signal then?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a digital
some people
signal.
with 20 to 50 foot dishes can actually talk.
Oh, wow.
But this dish here, it doesn't have enough gain. There's too much signal loss.
By the time it hits the moon and comes back, that's a long distance.
To give you an idea of the amount of signal loss, assume you went down to the Maryland beach.
Right.
And you stood there on the beach and you looked off in the distance in both directions. And you went down maybe 20 feet and you dug up every grain of sand as far as you can see in both directions. That's less than 10 to the 20th grains of sand.
Oh, wow.
The signal loss going from here to the moon and back is 1 over 10 to the 20.
So error correction is a big deal.
It's critical for a small antenna like this. But with a bigger antenna, then the focus of the beam
exponential changes.
Yeah.
In terms of reduction in power.
So the bigger dish.
Do you run higher current on those bigger dishes too?
No, we
No,
run
same
the same
level?
maximum power. But
It's the physics of the dish reflecting and
is.
receiving. Is it more receiving than reflecting or transmitting?
It's symmetrical.
Both. Okay. Oh, interesting. Transmit. Now you're also going to be playing with air density and that sort of stuff too.
This particular frequency band doesn't care
doesn't see
about
it.
moisture and and temperature. There are higher frequency bands though that do care.
Yeah. Have you been watching the James Webb Telescope at all?
I have.
What do you think about what's coming up with that?
We have no idea where it's going to completely change our understanding of not just extraterrestrial areas, but also physics in general, I think.
Wow. Well, material science is a big thing now, isn't it? That's the kind of, if you watch Elon Musk and you follow it all, it's like, Elon Musk is a great inventor.
Here's the thing to keep in mind, though, about the James Webb.
Yeah.
It's using the best technology that was available 30 years ago when they started building it.
Jeez.
So imagine if they were going to start building it now.
I'm sure they're working on it now, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to go out for human consumption. That's back to our NSA conversation.
Right.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Motley Patriot here. You know what? America's an interesting place because it's full of interesting people. See ya. Thanks.